Morning guys. Well, I'm out here this morning chasing some bass on the river. We've had some pretty solid rain yesterday and there's a little bit of debris and stuff in the water. It's a little bit dirty, so I don't know how we're going to go today. I have fished this river in the past after rain and struggled, so we'll see how we go. We might try and head upriver a little bit and find clearer water if we can and see if this fishing's any better up there. But I've just stopped at this little spot here and there was about 1,000 ducks on the surface, all just swimming around through these weed beds, obviously feeding on something. So where there's ducks, there might be bass. I'm going to give it a quick go here and see how we go before we head up the river. Well, we've just started getting the first little shower of rain. There's not much happening here, so I'm going to try and get up the river now. There's a few shallow sections that I want to get through, and when the tide gets out too much, we might not be able to get up through them. So before it runs out too much, I'm going to see if I can get up a little bit higher and hope this rain stops. All right, we've come a bit of a way up the river now. Let's see how we go up here. I don't think we'll be able to stay up here for too long because it gets pretty shallow when the tide gets out, but hopefully we might get a couple of hours at least, and if the water's a little bit clearer up here, then we might do a little bit better with the bass. Anyway, we'll see. Oh. Little fish hitting it. Not the big one I'm hoping for though. Alright, I'm going to drift down with the tide now and just pepper the edges a bit, see what we get. It's still tidal up here, this river, so hopefully this will help us to just quietly, stealthily cover some ground. Oh. Little guy. That's a good sign. At least we know there's some fish here. He was only very small though. Just want to be trying to hit those edges as close as possible. If you're too far out, you just won't catch the fish with bass. Most of the time anyway. Oh, had a hit just as I was picking up then. It wasn't big. Must have just been hanging around those weed edges, I think, that fish. Oh yeah. Oh, bugger. That's where I thought he'd be, in the shade in there. Let's see if he'll come back. Might have him go, possibly. Water rat. sitting on the log over there? Oh, it's a big lizard. Big lizard. There he goes. Always a good sign when you're bass fishing. You see one of them. Missed him. Bugger. Ah. I was going to say I wonder if he'll come back, but now my fly's stuck in the rock wall. I might see before I go in and get that. I'll try and switch bait him. See if I can get him to take a little minnow. Right in the back, under there if I can. Yes. Come on, there's got to be a fish in there. When the current starts flowing quite hard here, like it's starting to now, sometimes the bass will sit in the little eddies in the shade, in the little pockets where they can sit just on the side of the current, but out of it. That's why I'm trying to use the motor to just maneuver us around, slow us down our drift a little bit, and get into these little pockets at the side. Oh, there's a hit. It's only tiny. Yep, so the bass is sitting in the eddies. That's good to know. Quite hard casting into some of this stuff. I'm just trying to position the boat as well so that we don't drift into the area that we're trying to fish. It can be a bit tricky as well. Ah, he dropped it. Come on. These are all small, these fish. That's why we're not getting good hookups on them, I think. They're just not really big enough to get the fly fully down. But he was sitting in the eddy again, same spot. Stayed hooked this time, but he's tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny. There we go. There we go. Minute. What? There we go. First capture for the day. Barely bigger than the lure, but at least he stayed connected. Off he goes. Well, at least I'm starting to crack a bit of a pattern. So hopefully, if we persist with this, we might get lucky and find some larger fish. Oh, another little one. There he is. Slightly better fish, that one. They're getting bigger at least. Heading in the right direction. Okay. Off he goes. Maybe there's a little bit of a school in there. In this particular eddy. Oh, I had a bit there. It's only small. Well, I can hear a few cicadas now at least. It's a good sign. Perfect little corner. There had to be a bass sitting in there. Let's see if he'll come up again. It was only little. No, not going to come back. You can see why it's the perfect spot. It's just got a little bit of an eddy around it. You can sit beside the current there and wait for food to come without spending too much energy. So, perfect ambush spot for a bass. You can see where the bushfires have been through here. Most of the stretch of the river here looks like it has fared relatively well, but there's a couple of stretches like this where the fires obviously had a good burn. You can certainly smell damp charcoal at the moment, but I'm not seeing too much ash washing into the river at this point, which is good. Hopefully it'll stay that way. I've got to a good bass here, and he's got me in the sticks. Oh, there he is, he's out now. He's out. He's not massive, but he's reasonable. A proper fish, as opposed to the other ones I've been getting. Well, of course, it happened right at the moment when I decided to turn off the camera. Was not expecting to catch a fish just then. He's a decent little bass. Let's see. Let's get him out. He'd probably go 30 centimetres, I think. Not huge, but reasonable. Alright, I need to get this fish back in the water quickly and revive him. Alright, I can feel him biting down. That's good. Alright, there he is. Nice little Australian bass. Just going to revive him. Make sure he's going to be alright to swim off. Well, he swam off. Hope he's going to be alright. So you can probably see it started to rain now. I turned the camera off because I wasn't expecting to get anything, but I actually got the best fish so far of the day. It's probably about 30 centimetres. Anyway, it's a good sign. I've moved out back down the river a little bit with the tide. Hopefully it'll keep fishing alright. It's properly raining now. I'm going to sit out this shower and hope that it passes in not too long. Yeah, anyway, it's not really ideal bassing weather today, but at least I managed to get one reasonable fish and a couple of little ones. So hopefully, if the rain stops, we might get some more fishing in. We'll see how we go. I'm going to sit here and have my cup of tea under the umbrella and maybe have a bit of lunch while I wait for it to pass. It's still raining, but it's been raining for a while, and I thought, oh, it's eased off a little bit, I'll start fishing again. I wasn't expecting to get anything, but I just hooked another fish and dropped him, unfortunately. But anyway, it's interesting, they're still willing to take a cicada in the rain, it seems. Oh, yep. Oh, not a bad one. He's not big. He's alright. Oh. Obviously found a stretch that at least has a few fish active. That's good news. Alright, hang on mate. Hang on, I'll get you off. There, little barber's hook just slid out. There it is. Okay, there we go. Well, there you go. It started raining and they started biting. Who would have thought? Right. Well, things have gone very quiet on the surface. I think the tide is just about changing, so it might just be that they've gone off the bite because the tide is slack. But I'm going to switch over to a bass minnow, try something subsurface, see if I can get a production with that. Well, nothing happening subsurface either, so it might be just that the bite's gone off for a bit. I'll switch back to the cicada. Well, I haven't had a hit for ages. I just had a missed fish just in at the base of this tree over here just a minute ago, so I'm going to try again and see if he comes back. I don't know if we're going to get a second shot here, but you never know. Very, very quiet down in this stretch, I must say. I was just about to head off to another stretch of water, literally, and give this bit away. I don't think he's coming back. No. I think it might be time to head back up the river. There really is nothing happening here. Dead as a doornail. Just got a take from a little fish and hooked him just in next to the bamboo there. Not a big one, but he's okay. That's pretty small, really. There he is. Little bass. There he goes. Well, it's definitely this more upper stretch of the river that is fishing better than the lower bits. They just did not fire at all today. Well, that's the first take I've had on the bamboo all day. Mostly earlier on they were in the little shady eddy pockets, and then this afternoon they've been just in the shade, in the dark kind of water in the shade under the trees. But that fish was just in a little pocket off the bamboo where they sometimes sit. That was the first one that I've found there today. Whoa. Little guy tried to take it. Oh yeah. Dropped him as he came over that bamboo. He wasn't very big anyway. Little bush turkey up in the tree. Oh yeah! Oh, damn! Oh, he felt okay too. Definitely felt the hook. I'm not going to get another shot at him. Oh. Took it on the retrieve that time. Nice back up in there. Should be something along here, surely. Little one. Had him on for a second. He was very tiny. He's not the one I'm after. He took his time to take that, didn't he? Oh, bugger. Dropped him. Oh. I wasn't even concentrating, I was just leaving it sitting there while I was mucking around with the motor. He felt quite decent too. Alright. Well, there's a lesson in that. Be slower. Ooh. Something in there. Right in the back though. Don't know if I can get a cast in there. Maybe I can draw him out. That's if it was a fish. Of course, it could always have just been a lizard or something. Oh, the little guy had a go. But that's not what was jumping in there. All right. It's pretty well in there. Not exactly where it was, but... Very hard to get a cast in there. It's not too bad. Yeah. Ah, come on out. Come on out. He's okay. Not too bad. Not big, but he's a little bit better. How are you? Actually, he's not too bad. He'd be, he'd be high 20s, I'd say. Yeah. Yeah, probably high 20s. Not a bad little fish. Alright, well, they're starting to come on the bite a little bit now, which is nice. I've at least found a somewhat more productive stretch of water. Oh. Oh. Yep. Oh, he missed it. Let's see if he'll have another go. Don't think it was very big. I didn't feel his weight. So possibly might come back and have another go. Although the bite is a little bit slow today, so they're not feeding very aggressively at the moment. He did come back and have another go. If it was the same one. Oh, get it. Came off, it's floating there in the water. Net it. Got it. Got it back again. Alright. Tie him on again. Yep. Ah. Not that big. Feisty little guy. This one. There he is. There. Bobby goes. Oh, he was a decent one. Oh. Oh, come on. Come on, man, get it. No third chance by the look of it. Alright, well the tide's pretty much stopped moving now, and the bite has shut down, so I'm going to start heading back down the river, back towards the ramp. Don't really want to be stuck up here trying to navigate out in the dark, because there's some pretty shallow sections that I've got to get through. So I'll head downstream a bit. Once I get back past the shallow stuff, if there's a bit of light left, I might have a little bit of a fish on the way back. But we'll see how we go. Well, I've decided to head for home while there's still a little bit of light left. So that was a fairly tough day's bass fishing, really. You know, the middle of the day, it rained for a couple of hours, and really the bite just went completely dead. We had a little bit of a reasonable bite this morning, early on when the tide was running, and then later this afternoon as well when the tide was running back in. We got a bit of a decent bite as well, but only the one sort of reasonable fish that would have gone 30, another one in the high 20s, and the rest of them were all little ones. So a little bit disappointing that we didn't get any, you know, really good fish today. But I suppose the conditions, you know, having had quite a bit of rain and the bushfires recently, the conditions were not really ideal for bassing today, so at least we managed to get onto a few. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed that.